Funko news for February 18th. I hope this is uploaded on February 18th. I gotta tell you all, I've had such a difficult time with this particular video because I've had recording issues, syncing up issues, audio issues. I mean, every YouTuber deals with this at some point, and for anybody that's new into doing YouTube videos and are interested in doing YouTube, just know that that's going to happen. I don't care what equipment you have, what software you have, at some point you're gonna run into technical issues. But if you are motivated and you really want to be a YouTuber, you just gotta go fight through that. So my voice is very rough right now. This is gonna be a long video, but I'm still gonna do this for you all because I like to do these videos. I like to let you all know what's out there. And for me personally, whenever I have an issue with a video, I push through it. Instead of letting myself get upset and frustrated, I push through it. I go ahead and I re-record. I do whatever I have to. And usually when I do that, I'm glad that I did it. So that's a big piece of advice for anybody that's into YouTube. Don't let the technical things slow you down. Just calm your nerves, come back to it, do what you need to do, and then keep it moving. And you really will be glad that you did that. So yeah, that's enough about that. And like I said, I don't know when this video will actually be uploaded. I'm gonna keep the date on here, February 18th. A lot of you may end up seeing this on the 19th though, but it is what it is. And then part of the reason beyond the technical issues is because I have so much news to share with you all. That's another thing that held this video up, but I think that's a good thing though, and I think you will see some things that you like within this video. So let's go ahead and get into it. I really like to let you all know what is most recent at the Funko shop. So they recently dropped and they dropped their new releases on Wednesdays for the most part. If you're not familiar about that, for me, Eastern Standard Time, it's usually around 1 p.m. that they release on Wednesdays a new item that is exclusive to the Funko shop. So this time it was the Flintmobile with Dino, limited to 6,000 pieces, which isn't quite so limited, especially when you consider this price tag, $40, and that's without shipping. I mean, really, how many people are that hardcore of Flintstones fans that they're going to pay that much for this ride? So I kind of expect to see this ride sitting in the Funko shop for a while. Yeah, it's going to be parked, and it's still amazing to me that they didn't do another Fred Flintstone pop to go along with this ride. I mean, they put Dino in it, and Dino doesn't drive, but I guess they figured they wanted to do a pop they hadn't done before, or maybe one they hadn't done in a while. I don't know if there actually is another Dino pop or not, but yeah, I still would have liked to have seen Fred with this, and maybe even as a Dwarves ride, just to save some space for people. I actually mentioned that recently. But yeah, if you're interested at the time of this recording, that one is still available. Why it says age 14 plus on the box, I have no idea. I really don't know what that's about, but whatever. Also still available on the Funko shop from the last release was Pebbles and Bam Bam, those pop figures, which do sell together. You have to buy them together, and they are $30. So, and that's $30 without shipping. So basically $15 plus the shipping cost there, which to me that's more reasonable than this ride here, because I think those pop figures actually will hold some value over time. Especially with them being limited numbers. So over some time, I think those will hold a lot more value than this ride will. To me, this ride is just a tough sell. Rick and Morty. I don't follow the series, so I really can't speak too much about the characters here. Obviously, they have weaponized Morty, weaponized Rick, and they have a chase version of weaponized Rick with a different expression. It's really not so much about the design, though, of course. It's just the fact that it is a rare figure. For those of you that are new to collecting, when you see that chase sticker, for one thing, if you ever see a chase sticker, pick it up. I don't care what pop it is, pick it up, okay? Because it is a rare figure that's going to immediately go up in value. Also here, they have, I do want to point out that they have Snowball with the helmet on, which allows him to talk to people, which I really do like that. I actually did see that episode, because I want to say it was like the first or second episode. So, yeah, I do like that design for that character. Also, with Rick and Morty, they have Mr. Meeseeks, and they have a Barnes & Noble exclusive Mr. Meeseeks with a Meeseeks box. Don't know what that's about. I never got to this character in the series. because only, like I said, only watched a couple episodes. I do like that angry looking version of Mr. Meeseeks with the gun in hand, and that is the Chase figure. And then Mr. Poopy Butthole, I cannot get over that name, but they do have a Hot Topic exclusive version of that character, and I'm gonna take a wild guess here, and anybody that's a fan of the series can let me know whether I'm right or not. I'm gonna assume that Mr. Meeseeks at some point in the series shot Mr. Poopy Butthole, because you see Mr. Meeseeks holding a gun, you see Mr. Poopy Butthole, the Hot Topic exclusive, with his hand over a wound to his torso and blood dripping down. So I'm just kind of putting two and two together. Like I said, anybody who's a fan, let me know whether I'm right or not. Keeping it moving here with Rick and Morty. They got the mystery minis. Again, a lot of characters I'm just not familiar with. They got the Pocket Pops. They also have these action figures. I do like that they have Snowball and the mech for the action figure. I really think they should have done that with the Pop as well. You know, I think that would have been cool if they did it like they did with the Titanfall figures, where maybe not a 6-inch, but even if it was a smaller figure, I mean, just make Snowball smaller, you know, inside of the mech. I think that would have been cool. But, you know, it is what it is. At least there is the action figure version there. And then they had the plushies. Meh. You know, I mean, if you follow my channel, you know how I feel about the plushies by now. Go Jello Rangers. Yes, a lot of people are kind of teasing these figures online, and even though people are teasing them, we know people are going to scoop these up, especially those die-hard Power Rangers fans. By the way, if you have not seen the most recent Power Rangers trailer, I mean, I know some people are avoiding it because they don't want to be spoiled, but that is a phenomenal trailer. It really does sell the movie for me, so I'm much more interested in seeing it now based off of that most recent trailer. I do think these figures will look cool up close because they're very much similar to the design of the Doctor Strange figures, the Target exclusive and the Marvel Collector Corps exclusive, where it was his astral form, you know, so it looked pretty much like the Yellow Ranger because it was yellow with the glitter. So based off of that figure, I think that these will look cool up close. If you're wondering about the extra sticker on the box, because there is a GameStop sticker and then there's a diamond shaped sticker there, it says Morphing exclusive. So these are GameStop exclusives, GameStop Morphing exclusives. So yeah, they decided to put an extra sticker there. So I mean, why they did that, it seems kind of unnecessary, but at least it is a cool design for the sticker. The toy fair that occurred in New York is the main reason why there is so much more news for me to share, so bear with me. Yes, this is a long video, but I think it is worthwhile. Like I said, just bear with me. Five Nights at Freddy's. I'll tell you, it seems like every time I do Funko News, there's something new. Five Nights at Freddy's. And I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, if you're a fan of this series, like, oof, you got a lot to keep up with. So the action figures actually come with pieces in order to build a figure entered. I hope I'm saying that name correctly. I do like to play on, you know, to play obviously on words with his name. That's pretty cool. They got more pop figures. I see like some Nightmare versions of some characters, because they did the Nightmare Freddy. So yeah, these Nightmare versions of a couple of those characters look pretty cool. Some of these other designs, I really don't know the reference because I don't follow the game series. I'm not really sure why there are some characters that are like mainly white, and then they had the, you know, colorful spots on them. I really don't know what that's all about. But yeah, so they have all those pop figures, and then they also have the mystery minis, which look very similar to the pop figures as well. Don't follow, and it's nothing against it. It's just, you know, as I think any nerd, you have to kind of pick and choose your awesome. Like, you know, what awesome things are you going to focus on, because there's just only so much time, you know, that you can devote to certain things. So I never really got into Borderlands, but they got some more pop figures on the way. I do like some of these designs just based off of the concept art. And by the way, there is going to be a lot of concept art here, because that's what happens when there is a toy fair or a convention. I mean, that's what we see a lot of times, is the concept art first. And also here they had the Moxie rock candy figure. I'm a sucker for rock candy figures in general. That one is very well designed. So even though I'm not a fan of the game series, if I were to see that one at a decent price, I might pick it up. I mean, just because it's a really well designed figure. And like I said, the rock candy line, I think they're pretty cool. Darkwing Duck. Yes, this really takes me back. And I know other people that were big on watching animation in the 90s, you know, regardless of what your age may have been, I think you're probably happy to see this as well. So yeah, Darkwing Duck looks like it's going to be pretty awesome. And also they have along with him Gosselin Mallard. I made sure I put the names here just in case you're not familiar with this series or if it's been a long time. But Gosselin Mallard, I want to say, is Darkwing Duck's niece. I can't remember for sure. Either Darkwing Duck's niece or Launchpad McQuack's niece. Somebody could let me know about that in the comments. And then, of course, yeah, Launchpad McQuack there as well, who was a pretty funny character. If I remember correctly, I want to say that he was a good pilot but struggled with landings. Maybe I'm thinking of a different character. I don't know. Somebody could let me know if I'm right or wrong about that. You know, because I really can't remember. It's been so long, but regardless, yeah, this is just a hit of nostalgia seeing Darkwing Duck. So really cool that they are making that figure. I do hope, though, that he's better designed than some of the other 90s animated figures that I've seen. Like, I really wasn't crazy about Pinky and the Brain. The Animaniacs grew on me a little bit, but still not enough to buy them, though. So yeah, I do hope that these figures actually deliver. Falls is a series I was not familiar with, but when I saw this announced, I decided to check it out on Hulu. By the way, not a sponsor. Hulu's not a sponsor, but yeah, I decided to check out an episode or two, and I thought it was a pretty good show. The one thing that kind of took me out of the series is that the sister character has the exact same voice as Louise on Bob's Burgers. That's because it is the same actress. So maybe that's something I would have to just get used to. And it's the same situation that Bob Belcher on Bob's Burgers. It's the same voice as Archer because, again, that's the same actor, you know. So yeah, it's just something that's going to take some getting used to if I decide to stick with the series. And by the way, some of these concept arts of the figures really don't do them justice, and you'll see that later on with these Gravity Falls figures. Getting a little tongue-tied here because, like I said, I've recorded this multiple times, but yeah, you'll see that the concept art doesn't always do them justice, because I'll show you an actual real image of these figures later on. And by the way, I had to include that image there of that gnome throwing up the rainbow, because that was one of the funniest moments in the first episode, and actually was like right at the end. Another series that I'm familiar with, well, you know, I've been familiar with this series for a while because I actually watched it from the beginning and I'm up to date on it. I think I did finish season 3, and I also watched the Christmas special that they had. So BoJack Horseman, I'll tell you, it's not like a laugh riot, but I think it's funny enough, and you know, just in concept alone, it really works. There are some weird things about the series, like the fact that you have all these animals living as humans, and yet it's always weird to me when they go to a restaurant, because I'm like, what exactly is going on at the restaurant? You know, what are they eating? Like, that makes it a little bit weird, but overall, I like the series. It's very much a satire of Hollywood. You know, so even though I like the series, I don't feel like I need the pop figures. I mean, now when I see them in person, maybe I'll feel differently. And I do like the designs that I'm seeing from the concept art. BoJack with his flask in hand is on point, because he always has that flask with him. Mr. Peanut Butter with his tongue out and the shades up on his head. Obviously, you see from the image on the right that is accurate. Miss Caroline, I think that's her name, is Caroline, with the cell phone in hand. She always has her cell phone. So yeah, that's pretty accurate. So yeah, off the top of my head, I'm feeling like I don't need these pop figures, but we'll see, you know, how they look up close once we actually see the real deal. I think people have got to agree with me here. This wave of South Park figures makes a lot more sense than the first wave. I mean, come on, people, you gotta agree with me. Okay, so they got Stan, and I really love Stan as a character. He's one of my favorite characters in general, not just on South Park. I really do like that character, and I think that so much of the craziness on South Park would absolutely not work if it wasn't for Stan being the heart of the series and helping to keep the series grounded. And they also have Kyle, of course. They got Terrence and Phillip, which I think Terrence and Phillip are probably going to look good just because such a simple design. I mean, simple designs tend to work well with Funko, you know, so I think they'll look all right. And then they got Professor Chaos, Bringer of Destruction and Doom, you know, which, again, a good choice. So this wave, to me, makes a lot more sense than that first wave. And I hope they don't just stick to 5 at a time. I think with South Park having so much to play with, they need to kind of open up the floodgates on that maybe a little bit there. But, you know, still, I'm not sold on the designs, but I know that some people like them, so that's why I'm saying that. I mean, it's not always about me. It's about what other people like as well. The Batman 66 Villains and Batgirl. And Oh, and by the way, forgive me if there are any audio issues throughout this recording, but my voice is wrecked at this point, so I'm going with this record, regardless. But yeah, for the Batman 66 villains, they got Riddler, Penguin. They look awesome. They got Mr. Freeze, who I forgot that Mr. Freeze was actually on that series. It is weird to me that we're getting a Mr. Freeze figure that is the 66 version, as opposed to a more modern version first. Hopefully Funko will take care of that very soon. At one point, there actually was a glam shot concept art of Mr. Freeze from the Arkham series. I don't know what happened to that. I was excited about that, and then it never came out. There was also a version of Robin that looked pretty cool that was based off the Arkham series, the game series, and it never came out. So I don't know what happened there. But hopefully they will do a modern Mr. Freeze very soon. I do like that they also have King Tut there, because I remember King Tut from that series. I thought he was a pretty funny character. If I remember his origin correctly, I got to do a little history here for you all real quick. I want to say that he may have been somebody that either worked in the museum or he was like a criminal breaking into a museum. I can't remember for sure, but I know that he injured himself, and with this head injury, he woke up around all these Egyptian items and everything, and for some reason got it in his head that he was like a pharaoh, and that's the persona that he went with. So I'm thinking that's what his origin was. Well, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, because I remember watching Batman the animated series, and there was another character that had a very similar origin. I was like, that's interesting. So Maxie Zeus, if you remember the animated series, maybe you remember Maxie Zeus, who I think was an original character for the animated series. I think that he also had a type of origin where he injured himself or whatever it may be, and he ended up getting it into his mind because of his surroundings, because he's very wealthy and he has the apartment in the sky and everything. He started looking at himself as a godlike figure, and that's why he went with the Zeus persona. So if I'm wrong about any of that, somebody correct me. Don't be afraid to correct me, let me know, but that's what I'm recalling off the top of my head. So also with Batman 66, they have some action figures. They got that awesome looking Batmobile, and you see that figures do fit inside. That's pretty cool. Even though I feel like I've already seen the Batman 66 Batmobile made by Funko. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I know that they did Pop Ride, they did Dorbs Ride, they even did a Wacky Wobbler Ride, which actually won that from Funknatic, the Wacky Wobbler version of the Batman 66 Batmobile. But I feel like I've seen like the action figure version as well before. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I mean, regardless, that looks pretty cool. Notice here with the action figures that they switched out two of the characters. They don't have Riddler and Penguin. I would hope that they still make them as action figures, for people that are into the action figures. Again, it's not always about me, it's about what other people like as well. So they have Catwoman there. The Catwoman one looks okay. I gotta say, the pop figure of Catwoman from Batman 66, that's a phenomenal figure. It's getting tougher to find because it's been out for a good while, but that is a great looking figure, especially the glitter on it around the mask and everything. So if you're a big Catwoman fan, I would hope that you have your hands on that one. Then also they have the character Bookworm. I so do not remember Bookworm. Even though I watched that series, I really didn't remember that character, and I had to look him up actually to find out who in the world is this guy with that thing on his hat. And it turns out that is a light, like a reading lamp. So really silly looking character, but I mean, of course, the Batman 66 was all about camp, very silly. So yeah, Bookworm, I might have to try to find an episode of that series with him featured in it. Now, you Egghead fans, keep hope alive. There's no announcements yet, but who knows, maybe Egghead will come along. And if you're a fan of Egghead or just Vincent Price in general, yeah, keep your fingers crossed. Maybe someday. Now, Troll Hunters, this is the brainchild, I guess, of Guillermo del Toro, very well-respected director. I'm not familiar with it. I mean, I have Netflix, and Netflix is not a sponsor, not a sponsor to me. But yeah, I just don't recall even seeing this series listed on there. I did actually look to see is it actually there, but yeah, it is. It did come out recently. So they have the pop figures, and then they also have the action figures. I think it's interesting that two of the pop figures come along with those little gnomes along with them. So yeah, there's more gnomes than usual in my Funko news this week. Just realized that, but whatever it may be. So I guess if you're familiar with these, maybe you'll like these. I think they have interesting designs, but I just don't really know what to say about it beyond that. I'm not familiar with it. Despicable Me 3 is on the way, so they have more mystery minis, more pops, and more Dorbs. Gru in that outfit, I think that's pretty hilarious. That skin tight black outfit with the G on his chest. Yeah, that's kind of funny, but me, even though I know Despicable Me is mainly for kids, I'm still just pretty much over the series. I'm over the Minions. It's just, I'm just kind of surprised it's still going. Who knows? Maybe this will be the end for it, but I don't know if Despicable Me 3 is, if this next movie is successful, then yeah, I guess they'll keep on making more. But I'm just kind of over it personally. Westworld, I don't have Westworld here. I don't have HBO, but I really would like to check out this series because it has a phenomenal cast and the visuals look really interesting. I mean, you look there in the bottom left, very intriguing visuals. So I got to see what this is about at some point. I might even have to download the episodes on my PS4 so I can check it out, and hopefully the season's not too long, because I don't want to have to download too many episodes. But yeah, just a phenomenal cast, and if I like the series, I could see picking up these pop figures, at least some of them, because some of them are really well designed and they really do look like the actors. The main one I think stands out to me. I definitely like Ed Harris, the Man in Black, looks really cool, and Tandy Newton. The pop figure is cool, but I just gotta say I think Tandy Newton is gorgeous. Like, yeah, absolutely gorgeous actress. So yeah, I'm really interested in this series, very very intrigued by it, and I like the idea of mashing up a Western with pretty much anything else, especially like sci-fi. So yeah, I'm intrigued by that. I might have to check out the series and the actual original movie, which I never saw. Now, Lord of the Rings, there is more on the way. I actually shared that in another Funko News video recently, and you see here they have Eowyn and Arwen. I hope I'm saying those names correctly. If I'm not, forgive me. I'm just not a big Lord of the Rings fan, but they got these rock candy figures on the way of them, and I really can't speak more to it than that, because like I said, I'm not really familiar with them. I did see the original Lord of the Rings movies. I saw the Hobbit trilogy, but it's not as if I remember details super well, because I'm not really deep into it like that. So do forgive me for that. Yeah, the rock candy figure, I think that's cool, because Ellen Ripley is one of the greatest action heroes ever, not just female heroes, but one of the greatest action heroes in general. I do want you to keep in mind though here that this image of her, of the rock candy figure, you see that the t-shirt looks kind of dirtied up there, and I like that detail, but I'm gonna come back to that detail later on. I'm not gonna say more about it right now. Star Wars mystery minis, I said a while back that there were going to be Star Wars mystery minis, and now we see what they're going to look like. I think they look pretty cool. I'm happy with the design. I probably wouldn't collect these really, because I don't collect Star Wars, but if I was going to get anything Star Wars for myself, I probably would roll with these just because they are small. They don't take up a lot of space, and since it's not like one of my huge fandoms, it makes a lot more sense for me to buy these. No announcement yet about store exclusives, but you know how it goes with mystery minis. I'm pretty sure there will be, because that encourages sales. So yeah, I would imagine that's going to happen once these are released. The Mummy, starring Tom Cruise. This is not a reboot of The Mummy that featured Brendan Fraser. A lot of people were thinking that. No, this is Universal's attempt at a shared universe, like with the Marvel movies. They want to take the classic Universal monsters and have them in a series of movies and have them cross over with each other. So maybe Tom Cruise will be a character that connects those movies. I really don't know that for sure. We'll see what happens. I think the Mummy Pop has a lot of potential because the character within the trailer looked pretty interesting. Tom Cruise's character probably going to be kind of plain Jane looking, but I'm really hoping that this movie is good, because Tom Cruise, I think, is one of the greatest American action heroes ever. You got to give the man his credit. He does so much stunt work, still at it, hasn't, missed a step, still taking a lot of crazy risks to give us some great action. So yeah, I'm hoping that this movie actually is really cool, and I'm actually looking forward to a more serious take on the Mummy mythology as opposed to the Brendan Fraser films, which I did enjoy. I never watched the third. I heard it was terrible, stayed away from it. But the first and second one, even though I enjoyed them, I mean, I'm kind of ready for a more serious take, and it'll be interesting to see where they go with this. It's still weird to me that they pushed Dracula Unleashed to the side, but I guess it just didn't do what they wanted it to do in terms of box office. So it seems like that one's not even in the mix, and there's probably going to be an all-new version of Dracula eventually. Now, I mentioned before how I like when westerns are mashed up with other genres, and Dark Tower really exemplifies that. Awesome book series by Stephen King. I didn't read the whole series. I did read a couple of the books though, and I really enjoyed them because, like I said, the genre mashed up, because it's like a western, but then it has elements of like fantasy, like, you know, like medieval iconography, has some supernatural elements, horror, sci-fi elements, even well, sci-fi maybe not quite so much, but definitely you know, some supernatural elements to it, even some horror elements, you know. So it's just very interesting. It ticks a lot of boxes in terms of genre, so I understand its success absolutely, and it is well written, you know. So I'm really looking forward to the movie. Idris Elba, Matthew McConaughey on screen together, gotta be awesome. I mean, if Hollywood screws that up, that'd be amazing, you know. But as far as the figures go, I think Matthew McConaughey's figure looks okay, you know, somewhat plain. But that Idris Elba's character, that figure looks awesome. I love the revolvers in the hand, the flowing of the coat. Even if the movie turns out to not be so great, I'd be happy to have that figure because it's just so well designed. And I always think that facial hair on a pop figure really gives it a lot more personality. I am wondering though, it looks like it's just drawn on, and maybe they're doing that because it is very thin, fine hair that he has in the movie. His hair tends to me look better when it's sculpted, but I mean, we'll see how that goes, you know, once the actual figure is out and we can see it up close. Another movie I'm very hopeful for. I mean, come on, Warner Brothers, get it together. I really hope that this Wonder Woman movie is awesome. The trailer has looked pretty good. You know, what previews I've seen thus far look pretty cool. I'm really happy with Gal Gadot. So, yeah, let me focus on the figures here. I like this Wonder Woman figure. Finally, Wonder Woman with a shield. That looks cool. They have the Amazonian rock candy figure of Wonder Woman, and there is a pop figure of her with the Amazonian outfit as well. They have Steve Trevor, who's kind of important to the Wonder Woman lore, her whole background, and how she came to be outside of her island, basically, outside of Themyscira, I think is the name, and how she really connected with the modern world and everything. He's important for that fact. This other character, I cannot remember how to pronounce the name, so I'm not going to tear it up, you know, but I mean, you see her there with her pretty awesome outfit on as well, and that crown is very cool as well. Now, looking at the back of the box here, because somebody at the toy fair was nice enough to take a picture and share it. Again, you see Wonder Woman, Steve Trevor, whatever her name is, and that other character. And then you also see Wonder Woman with a different stance, and they name it Wonder Woman Shield. Really not sure why. I don't know if maybe it's because she's like in a stance where maybe she's getting ready to use her bracelets or something. I don't know why they call that Shield. You know, then they have Diana Prince, which is the name she goes by, you know, within the modern world and modern society. And that outfit looks pretty cool. It looked really nice in the trailer and everything, so it's kind of her street outfit, you know, so yeah, that's cool. Wonder Woman in the blue dress, really glad that they are making that figure, because that was a nice moment in the trailer to see her. I mean, Gal Gadot just killing it in that dress. And then also the fact that she had the sword at the ready, that to me really exemplifies Wonder Woman, because Wonder Woman she's beautiful, she's, you know, graceful, but she's also deadly. She is always ready for battle. So that's what I really liked about that moment in the trailer. So it's nice that they are making that pop figure. And then also that, you know, like I said, they have Wonder Woman as the Amazon as well. No villain here. Maybe that's because they are trying to keep that under wraps somewhat. I mean, and maybe they will do some more figures based off of the movie eventually. You know, time will tell. Now, keep in mind how that Wonder Woman looks there. Okay, hope you're looking at the design. Keep in mind how that looks. And let me go ahead and move forward here. Now, let's go ahead and get right to the Wonder Woman. You notice there, not very much difference between this Wonder Woman concept and the Wonder Woman based off of her solo movie. The main difference I see is that instead of holding the shield, she has the shield on her back and she has the lasso of truth in hand. So yeah, Funko didn't necessarily strain themselves to mix it up there, but I think it's still a cool looking figure, and if you're a die-hard Wonder Woman fan, you're gonna get both anyway. Now the other figures here, I think Batman looks maybe a little too busy, but still cool. Superman, they should have had Superman in that pose. It's about time. I mean, I like Superman looking kind of threatening and looking like he's ready to take off and ready for action. That looks cool. I hope that the cape looks awesome. Aquaman looks cool. Flash, Cyborg, I think all of these look like great figures. As far as the movie is concerned, I'm very apprehensive. I feel like Warner Brothers just does not have their act together. They don't have a real plan. I think they need to step back and figure things out, but I mean, there's no stopping the train now, I guess. So hopefully some of the rumors about Justice League aren't true and the movie actually does deliver, because I'm so tired of being disappointed by Warner Brothers. So yeah, and I'm saying Warner Brothers, not just DC. I think it really is more so about Warner Brothers and maybe some of the studio execs just meddling too much, but hopefully they'll get it together. Spider-Man Homecoming. Yes, Spider-Man Homecoming. I think we all are hopeful that this movie will deliver. Obviously, they got the great Tom Holland, great actor for the choice of Peter Parker Spider-Man. So I think what's really going to make or break this movie is, will the villains deliver? Now, looking at the pint-sized heroes there, you see that Peter Parker Spider-Man. I love that Tony Stark pint-sized hero. The expression is just so on point. Gotta get that. Really, I want all those pint-sized heroes, and I'll talk some more about those in a moment. The Vulture looks cool. Obviously, he's simplified, for the pint-sized hero. They got the Pocket Pop. They got the plushie, the Dorbs, the Spider-Man. And then with the actual pop figures here, you see that I got Peter Parker. I really do like that design of Peter Parker, because you look at him and right away you can tell that is a young Peter Parker. That's Peter Parker as a high school student, because he has the sweater on there with the insignia on it. And then also he has the backpack on as well, which you can look and see that he has the straps on, so he is wearing a backpack. So I really do like that they have Peter Parker, and it's funny just looking at that figure. I mean, it does remind me of Tom Holland, even though it's a very simple figure in some ways. But yeah, I think that's cool. The Vulture looks incredible. I just hope he delivers in the movie. I mean, Michael Keaton's a great actor, but it's really about the script. Will the script deliver for him as a villain? Time will tell on that. No image of Shocker has been revealed. I would assume that they're going to do Shocker as a pop figure. I mean, why not? So hopefully they will do that. And again, time will tell. So even if I don't like Vulture in the movie, I gotta have that figure, and I gotta have this Spider-Man as well. I think this is a really cool looking Spider-Man pop figure. They're definitely making sure that you see that, yes, he is using the classic web shooters, and yeah, just the black trimming and everything. That's a really great looking figure. So I don't know about you all, but I'm really happy with these already. Thing here I'm not so excited about is this Spider-Man homemade suit. Yes, people, I know it's meant to look rough because it's something that Peter Parker threw together, but that is just an ugly figure to me. I gotta be blunt about it. I really don't like that design. I really don't think I have any interest in that particular figure, and I mean, it is what it is, though. I guess they had to make it. Pint-sized heroes, notice here they have a 3-pack. This is something new for pint-sized heroes, and one of them is a mystery collectible. Now, notice here also they do have Iron Man, and Iron Man will be rocking, of course, some different armor for this movie. There's even rumors that he may rock more than one armor, which that should be interesting. I feel like they need to make an Iron Man based off of Spider-Man Homecoming as well. Hopefully they will do that. We'll see. One thing I'm curious about, though, with the 3-pack of the pint-sized heroes, really wondering if the third figure is something completely different, or is there a chance of getting Peter Parker or Tony Stark or Vulture? I really don't know how that's going to work. Or Iron Man's already included, but yeah, I'm really wondering who the third figure could possibly be. So again, time will tell with that. I keep on saying that because I'm trying to be patient, but these are upcoming movies, so I'm assuming that these figures will be rolling out pretty soon. Now let's take a look here. Let's take a look at some of the actual photographs that we're taking at the Toy Fair in New York. You see the Batman 66 figure is looking pretty awesome. I think that Batgirl is one of the better looking Batgirl figures I've seen. I just hope that they get the paint job right. And yes, I do realize that is the same Batgirl mold that they've used before, but still, it looks pretty good with that paint job, and I hope they actually get the paint job right, because I've seen some really rough looking Batgirl pops. I don't know what that's about, but some really sloppy paint jobs. They got the Kingdom Hearts plushies, which I didn't share previously, but yes, those will be available. They got Daffy, Goofy, Mickey, and I think those will probably sell well just because, you know, Disney characters so popular. The Gravity Falls, like I said, I was going to come back to this. The actual figures look so much better than that concept art did. I mean, look at the detail on these. They actually have some facial details and stuff. So, you know, like really trying to show off like blemishes on the skin, the blush of the sister's cheeks. I mean, yeah, I think these look really cool, way better than the concept art would have you believe. So hopefully the same is true for some of the other figures that I've shared with you. The concept art, you know, is just a hint of what the actual figure will look like. Now, Ellen Ripley, I said I want to come back to that figure for a moment. Remember, the figure, the image I showed you before, her t-shirt looked kind of dingy and everything, and I like that detail because that's true to the movie. This figure here doesn't really have that detailing going on the shirt, at least. I mean, she does have, you know, like a dirty cheek or a bruised cheek, whatever it may be there, but the actual shirt looks way too clean to me. So I hope with the final figure that it does look kind of dingy, kind of dirty, just because that's more true to the movie, you know. So yeah, I really hope that they nail that detail when they actually release the actual figure. This screen here, just go ahead and marvel at it for a moment, and know there's no Marvel on the screen, but still marvel at this screen because we got the Nicktoons Pops. Finally, more than just concept art, the actual Pop figures. We see what they look like. So we got Tommy and Chucky. I think Chucky especially looks very cute. I really like that both of them are in that very pigeon-toed stance, you know, the way that babies tend to walk. The Raptor figure, I think that's what his name is, Raptor or Riptor, you know, I can't remember for sure. Some people were hoping that would be a 6-inch figure. Doesn't look like a 6-inch figure to me, but it does look like it might be a little bit taller than the other figures. You know, I mean, again, we'll have to see that up close. Real Monsters, I really like those designs because they're such simple characters to begin with, their original designs, so it was almost tough to mess those up, and it just worked out well. I really do like the look of them. Cat Dog, never watched it, never really was interested because the design of that character just always was like, ugh, like, you know, when you think about it, and I'm not gonna get into that because that's been beaten to death, but yeah, I mean, Cat Dog, from what I remember of the cartoon, I think that's a pretty good looking Pop. Very interested to see how they display that in a box though. That's what I'm really waiting to see. How are they gonna, like, what type of box are they gonna put him in? I'm imagining that it would be almost like a 2-pack box, but smaller though, so we'll see what happens there. Harry Potter rock candy figures. This is very interesting because this is the first time that we are seeing male characters as rock candy figures. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I was really liking the idea of rock candy figures being all about these female heroes and female characters, you know, and so I don't know if I like the idea of male characters getting involved in that line. You all let me know what you think about it. Would you actually like to see more male characters as rock candy figures, including maybe Marvel, DC, Star Wars characters? I mean, would you be interested in that? Me personally, I would rather see rock candy just focus on female characters, because when I first started collecting Funko Pops, I was like, man, you know, the female heroes are not getting enough shine. There wasn't really enough variety of them, in the ones that they made didn't always look very interesting. So that's why I like rock candy so much. So I'm not really sold on this idea of male characters, but again, you all let me know what you think about that. This last image here on the right, I noticed that they had the Riddler, the 66 version, which I showed you the concept art of before, but then there's another Riddler here, and this is the Riddler that I really want, because, and really I want both of them, but I really like this one even more, because when I think about Riddler, this is the image that comes to my mind. I love Riddler with the bowler hat on with the question mark, and then the green suit with the question marks on it. Like, that is awesome. So I don't know why this one wasn't announced along with some of the other ones, but it looks awesome. It really does, and I really want that figure. I noticed that he doesn't have any purple in the mix, at least not from what I can see, but I mean, it's not necessary. You know, just the green and black looks pretty awesome. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that figure. Another bit of news here. IDW is partnering up with Funko to create Funko Universe comic books. So I'm assuming that means that it's going to be the pop art style all the way through the comic. Is that necessary? Probably not. But I mean, some people really do like the pop art, and I mean, so this will be a cool option for you. Of course, it's going to come down to are the stories worth it? Are the stories worthwhile reading? You know, because it's not just about art. I've read many comic books over the years, and I know that art can be great. I mean, it can draw you in, but it's all about story in the long run. So are the stories going to be worthwhile? That's what we'll have to wait and see. So you see with the properties here, they have Strawberry Shortcake, Ghostbusters, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then I've also seen covers for the X-Files and Judge Dredd. That Judge Dredd cover was incredible. You know, I will probably share that in a future video, but I just wanted to share just a couple of images here for now. So yeah, we'll see what happens with these comics, and I'm also very curious, are they going to start putting these into some of the sub boxes? You know, we'll see. Now, I always like to give you just a little bit more than Funko, so very quickly here, just bear with me very quickly here, they got some Marvel Vinylmations. This is Series 4, so I think that's why they are taking a risk here and maybe giving, you know, some more obscure characters, but that's cool to me. So they have the original design of Iron Man, they got Black Suit Spider-Man. I'm not going to name off all of these, but they got MODOK, that's really cool. Beta Ray Bill, like, you really got to know something about comics to know Beta Ray Bill, because I don't think like the average person on the street knows who in the world Beta Ray Bill is. So yeah, I really do like that they have some obscure characters in the mix here, and I hope that Disney will make these figures more readily available. As far as I know, they're just sold at Disney stores and in Disney parks. I think these figures need to be out in the open a little bit more though, because they are pretty cool. If you can get past, I had to get used to seeing the Mickey Mouse ears on all these characters. That took some adjustment, but it does help that they are very creative with what they do with the ears. There's actually some really cool artwork on the ears and like some references to the characters' backgrounds and you know, relations and everything. So very cool that they do that. For example, Maria Hill, if you see it closely there, one of the ears actually has the S.H.I.E.L.D. symbol on it. So that's very cool. Falcon, he has his actual falcon, you know, his bird friend on one of his ears. So details like that to me are very cool. And then they also have some new Living Dead dolls on the way, and they've picked up some new properties as well. They got the Exorcist, what's her name, Regan or Reagan? I can't remember how you pronounce her name, but she looks incredible, really cool. They got Dawn of the Dead zombie figures there. They got Alex from Clockwork Orange and Harley Quinn. Yes, that means that FM is going to be buying a Living Dead doll. Harley Quinn, gotta get it, got to get it. That's all there is to it. And that might actually open me up to be, you know, considering buying some other Living Dead dolls, including Regan or Reagan, whatever her name is, from The Exorcist, and Alex from Clockwork Orange, you know, possibly as well. But gotta get that Harley Quinn first. And I like that they're just teasing what she'll look like, but I'm already sold. I mean, if you just say Harley Quinn Living Dead doll, I'm like, yeah, I'm getting it. Okay, I'm good. You know, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Whoa! Goodness, that was a lot of news, people. I know this is a extra long video, probably the longest Funko news video I've ever done, but I hope that you saw a lot of things that you're looking forward to. Let me remind you all again, no release dates. I'm not really giving those because they're never quite firm anyway. It seems like pretty much when Funko is ready to roll them out, they go ahead and roll them out. So I mean, they may have release windows. As a matter of fact, if you check out Entertainment Earth, they do tend to give you a good idea of a window of when figures will be out, but even they are not always 100% accurate. But if you're really curious, just keep checking out Entertainment Earth. Again, they're not a sponsor, but yeah, I do check them out sometimes just to get an idea of windows for the release of figures. But I'm not going to put any dates for the most part into my videos because I know they're so flexible with their release dates. So like, comment, share. Make sure you definitely comment. Let me know what you're looking forward to. Are there any announcements that I missed? I mean, this was a lot of news, but it's still, I mean, there's a chance I may have missed something. So let me know. I know that more reveals are still coming from the Toy Fair. More images are being put out there. So let me know what I missed. And I definitely want to hear what you're interested in. And you know, my loyal subscribers that really stick with me all the way through my videos, I really appreciate it. So I do want to remind you that I have a giveaway going on. And here is a giveaway update. So it's just for US subscribers because I really don't know how gift cards work beyond US borders. I'm sorry, I just don't know about that. So that's why I'm keeping this just to US subscribers, and I do mean active US subscribers. I'm talking about people that watch my videos on a regular basis, that comment on a regular basis, and I mean like real comments, not just first, great video, those type of things. I mean, people comment whatever they want to, that's fine. But I really like comments that allow me to give you some feedback, to have a conversation with you. That's what I really like. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm going to look back over the past couple weeks and see, who is really an active subscriber. As far as likes and shares, those are cool too, but it's not really so much of a way for me to check up on that. So I'm really basing this off of comments. Now, remember that the value of the gift card is based upon how many subscribers. I'm not talking legitimate subscribers that I've gotten within the month. And I'm saying legitimate because I've had people before put some bogus accounts onto my YouTube subscribers, and I just really don't care for that nonsense. So I'm trying to watch and actually see who are the legitimate subscribers being added. So at this point, I've gained 40 this month. I should say from the time that I started this giveaway, whenever that date may have been. So I've gained 40, so that means that there's going to be a $40 gift value that I'm giving away here. So and maybe we can get that up to 50, at least by the end of the month. And again, legitimate subscribers, if I see a sudden influx of subscribers, I'm going to check into that. And if I'm not actually seeing those accounts, I don't care if they're private. If I'm not seeing any new accounts, then I'm not going to jump up the value, because that was just seemed kind of fishy to me. But as far as the actual gift card is concerned, it could be from GameStop, Hot Topic, Walmart, or maybe another store that sells collectibles. It does have to be a store that sells collectibles. I am not going to Victoria's Secret to get you a gift card. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. So it does need to be a store that sells collectibles. You don't have to buy collectibles with it, though. What you do with the card is up to you. I mean, I can't police that. I'm not going to follow the card to your house. I'm not going to follow you to the store, so what you do with the card is up to you. But I do want it to be a store that sells collectibles. And if a YouTuber happens to win, then and you decide to share what you do with it in a video, that would be cool, but you don't have to. I mean, it's really up to you. For example, if you're low on cash and you get this gift card and you decide that you want a Walmart gift card and you got to put some food in your fridge, I applaud you for that. Do what you got to do, so it's whatever you want to do with the card. But yeah, again, I do want it to be a store that sells collectibles. So yeah, enough about that. Yeah, like I said, this giveaway is still up and running. I'm gonna do a drawing at the end of the month, either right at the end of the month or like the first of next month. It'll be within that week. So yeah, just be on the lookout for that. And I'm gonna rest my voice. I hope you all appreciate the hard work that I put into this, the technical issues that I had to deal with and everything. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and rest, and more content coming up very soon. You all take care. Till next time.